do you think that obviously during the pandemic they've had to adapt and movies have been being brought out, through streaming services? I mean, that's going to impact their business. People are going to be reticent, I'm sure, for a long time about being packed into theatres as they are restaurants or stores. From an innovation point of view, Jens, what are the sorts of things do you think that they should be looking at in terms of driving people back, or at least giving them the confidence that they're in a safe environment?
Yeah, I think number one is really getting back to basic, which for me means tuning into your customers, into the people you engage with, and then really understand what are their needs, dreams, and desires and fears in this situation, and how you can help them overcoming them, or build and provide them opportunities in learning different things, bringing value to them as much as possible, which brings them back towards you. And that might mean you need to build a different concept around a cinema. That might mean, if to your former questions, like the digital and online or offline world, that means you need to do both. For me, there's no either or. It's you need to be in both worlds if you want to be successful. And I think that this way of thinking, tuning into your customers and their desires, needs, and dreams, that's what every retailer grows. At least when you start retailing, that's what you're figuring out. It's just when you get big and so successful, then you say it, but you're not really doing it. At least I've seen and worked a couple of retailers where it's not really happening on a day-to-day basis. And I think that's where we need to go back, because you can only innovate if you're close to your customers and understand their needs and dreams and desires, and then produce or invent something which helps to bring something to them which is fulfilling their desires, which are maybe even not spoken about. I think that's a bit, and it doesn't matter if you're a retailer or a cinema, it's like finding out what it is and how can you bring something in. I'm pretty sure you can do an amazing cinema experience where everyone is watching Netflix on your iPad or whatever, which you bring with you. So because people want to be with people, we're social animals, and that's what you see as well with a lot of people. I mean, we haven't met the last years. We only met via social media and this way, like with videos, and we're getting used to that. But everyone has the longing for meeting with other people again. So I think as soon as we're allowed to do that and things are opening up, there will be something going on. So it's now preparing for it and being ready and helping people to onboard to your services, to your retail, to your store again in a different way, that they feel safe and feel welcome. I think the technology is still evolving in all of that topics. And for me, technology is not a means in itself. It's a facilitator of things. And we need to learn to use it properly, because if you take the three of us, we are not grown up with the phone, at least with a smartphone in that way. Like my 3-year-old daughter, she will not know the old way anymore. For her, that's a normal thing. And most probably when she's 18, that thing is so old that it's like old telephones for us. So I think the technology is evolving, and we need to learn to use it in different ways. I'm fascinated by how retailers are adapting and or not adapting. I was maybe just a short example. I was looking last week into helping local retailers to understand how they can use technology and like social media in different ways to quickly gain something right now, which is fairly easy. Like, you don't need to have a complicated online store if you're not into that. You basically just need Facebook and or Instagram, and you have an online store. You have a medium which you can use. You have a platform which you can use to communicate with customers around the whole world. But you can as well do that in your local area. So it's a tool that helps you to do things in a different way. It's just being open to it and using it in a way that it works. Again, with the human effect of dialing it into your customer needs and understanding them and seeing what they're, because everyone is on Facebook. I was just reading it the other day. It's like, I don't know, 80% of the whole world is on Facebook in one or the other way. So it's not anymore for the youngsters. Maybe TikTok and so on. It's more towards until 25. But even there, you can do huge business already on TikTok, which which nobody is looking into from a seriousness perspective. If you're a big brand, I'm everywhere. And I can highly encourage everyone who is doing business in any way, especially retailers, engaging with their current customers, but as well future customers through technology. But then on top of that, having this, like Gary said, having this, when there's a physical moment, having that super special, that is so special that you really feel special as a customer, where you're attracted again by the brand, by what it stands for, and then having a true conversation, having a true relationship. And then that's, I think, what you need to find out, and we all need to learn. How do you build relationships in a dual way, or even more than dual? It's like, it's online, offline, digital, not digital. How do you build relationship in a long-term perspective, and as well keep them alive? And that's fascinating to find out as a business, as a retailer.
So we're agreed that technology and retail can coexist, in a very, very strong way, and that people will that's going to give people the opportunity to offer better customer service, maybe speed up the kind of transaction part of that, which is great. Let's look at both the beginning and start of that then, in terms of what do you see the priorities then for attracting people back into retail? I mean, we could rely on that, roaring 20s, that everybody's going to want to go everywhere, right? But that's, it's kind of a kind of perhaps a very focused approach to things, and then the communication after the purchase, because right now I think it's less than 1% of retailers communicate well with people once they were leaving a physical environment. So maybe take one of those each. Jens, how do you think people get people into the location? And Gary, maybe what's the journey afterwards?
Into the location is building relationships right now, right. Caring about your customers, and don't focusing too much on selling only. It's like, what can you do as a retailer to provide value to your customers? And that can be as simple. Hey, that's the dress of the day. I'm wearing this. What do you think? Let's have a talk. What are you wearing? What is the best dress? How do you dress up for this occasion, for that occasion? Like, if you're a fashion retailer, you can engage with your customers via Snapchat, whatever you're using, digital right now, building a community around different topics. Hey, we're the blue t-shirt company, whatever. We are selling shoes, and these are shoes, and you tell the story. You engage with your customers and basically educate them on the way of what it is, why your product is special, why your service is special, and that will attract people to your brand. They will come. I think that's no doubt for me. If you do this, if you take now the time where we are working from home, where maybe the store is not open, attracting customers in. But I would even go so far, if you're a retailer in a city center location, it's like, you need to sit in your shop window right now and doing your online business, because everyone knows the radio shows where they have a window and people are standing in front of the radio show, right? If I would be retailer in a physical environment, I would be sitting in my shop window right now and selling online and waving to everyone who is passing by, and doing little stickers on the windows. Like, these small things will create engagement, and then you can still have a hashtag or whatever. Take a photo of me and put it on Instagram and tag me, and you will get a discount or whatever. Just these small things, just being a little bit of crazy in a way of thinking, which helps you to attract and engage with people in a different way you have ever done. That can be done from big brands and small ones. It costs almost nothing.